It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Hey, good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and good morning, Steve, Zeb, Tony. Good morning, everybody, halfway through the week, and just a reminder, if you missed yesterday's $6 for any movie at any Marcus Theater, we'll be doing it again next Tuesday, and the Tuesday after that, and every Tuesday, only at Marcus Theaters, $6 Tuesdays. There's no better deal in town. Well, naturally, we start off with the arrest of Justin Timberlake in New York for DWI. Got a couple of sidebars for you. The very young officer who arrested Justin didn't even know who he was. There was apparently a dash cam in the police car that recorded Justin's driving before the arrest. Justin refused a breathalyzer and failed the sobriety test. And even a friend of Justin admitted that when Justin left the party that night, he was smashed. And Justin has bragged that he has often drank a whole bottle of whiskey in one sitting by himself. And by the way, Justin's wife, Jessica Biel, has been after Justin for a long time to back off the booze. Well, maybe now. But you know what? I could name over 50 celebrities who have been arrested for DWIs in the past, including Paris Hilton, Kevin Hart, Heather Locklear, Robert Downey Jr., Tiger Woods, Nicole Kidman, Michelle Rodriguez, Vince Vaughn, Justin Bieber, Mel Gibson, Kiefer Sutherland, Keanu Reeves. I mean, I could go on. And there are a lot of other big-name celebrities who've been busted for DWI, but somehow had their records expunged, so we can't name them. Honestly, a celebrity busted for DWI is just not uncommon in Hollywood. Got some great movie scoopage for you. Check it out. Michael Jackson's biopic entitled Michael just wrapped up 3 weeks ago and is now in post-production. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great, great movie that examines Michael Jackson from a 3-year-old toddler until the day he died. Jafar Jackson plays Michael and could get an Oscar nomination. Jafar Jackson is Michael Jackson's brother, Jermaine Jackson's son. In other words, Michael's nephew. Michael opens nationwide April 18th, 2025. And I got more movie scoopage. Saturday Night Live, 1975. The biography, comedy, drama. The film is also in post-production right now at the same Sony studio in Culver City as the movie Michael in post-production. And this movie is also getting a lot of buzz. It's the true story of Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Jane Curtin, Garrett Morris, Lorraine Newman, Gilda Radner. What happened October 11, 1975, the first Saturday Night Live show. Saturday Night Live 75 opens nationwide October 11, 2025, exactly 50 years from the debut of the first Saturday Night Live. Hey, have a great day. We'll do it again tomorrow. Mike Evans, see ya.
Hey, this is Steve Gorman, and this is the best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
Henry Winkler, we had him on the show last year, the Fonz.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Good
Super
guy.
sweet. Wonderful dude. For the second time in recent memory, he has popped up on the news in the United Kingdom. Not because they're doing a story about him necessarily, but because two different things have happened where a BBC reporter is like, let's go to the man on the street. And they just go, excuse me, sir, do you have a moment for the BBC? And twice in the last month, it's been Henry Winkler.
It's Winkler.
The more recent one, he was in Dublin, and there was a fire at a hotel, a historic hotel in Ireland. Henry Winkler, of all people, happened to be a guest in that hotel, and like everyone else, he was evacuated from the building onto the sidewalk.
When I heard the fire alarm, I thought it was the clock radio. I thought somebody had set the alarm before we got there, like another guest. And finally, I went into another room, and it was still buzzing. So I called downstairs, and the woman said in a very calm voice, "Yes, we're all evacuating. You must evacuate right now." And I left. Firemen are some of my favorite human beings. Firemen and firewomen. They run in when other people are running out.
You know, that news guy's like, hey, this is a good one. We got a good one. This is a keeper. This guy did very well on camera. Yep. I don't even think we have to edit this. We got a winner here.
And then at some point, someone goes, dude, that was the Fonz. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
The what?
And if you're wondering if they know about the Fonz in the United Kingdom, I can assure you they do. And I've witnessed this in person. My friends from a Welsh band called Stereophonics in 2003 were in Los Angeles mixing their 4th album. Now, this is a band that later that year I ended up going on the road with for a while. But months before any of that happened, they were just in L.A. having their album mixed. And I went by the session one day just to listen to some of the new songs and see how it was going. And a friend of mine I had made in Los Angeles, a kid named Jed, he's Henry Winkler's son. Now, I knew that, but I'd never met Henry. I'd never figured it would turn into, we're adults. I'm like, hey, can I meet your dad? I mean, it wasn't like, this is in 2003. It was just one of those things of like, oh, cool, your dad's the Fonz. That must be cool. We take a couple anecdotes and you move on with getting to know a dude. Mm-hmm. Well, I mentioned to him, we were talking, and I said, I'm going to go by Ocean Way, and the Stereophonics are in town mixing. And he goes, man, I love Stereophonics. I'm going to be I'm going to be right near there. Dude, could I come by and just say hi? And I said, sure, that's fine. They're totally laid back dudes. I'm sure they'd be happy to, just call me. Let's figure it out. A couple hours later, I'm at the studio. I'm in the room. It's me and a couple of the guys from the band and the dude who's mixing the record. And Jed calls. He goes, hey, man, I'm outside. I said, cool. And I go to open the door to let him in the studio, and he's standing there with his dad, the Fonz, which I didn't have any idea was happening. But I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, how are you? And he goes, this is Henry, Steve Gorman. He goes, hey, it's so nice to meet you, Steve. Nicest guy in the world. And I'm just like, it is a pleasure to meet you, Henry. Come on in. And I'm thinking, and Jed goes, yeah, we were working on something, and he just thought he'd come with me. I'm like, well, the Fonz goes where the Fonz wants to go.
That's right.
But I remember thinking to myself, these guys won't even really know who he is. Right. Like, this will be nice for Henry because he goes somewhere and he's finally anonymous. Because in my dumb mind, I'm like, well, okay, they're all 10 years younger than me, and they grew up in a very tiny village in Wales, and they probably don't know Happy Days because that guy, I opened the door to the mixing room, and I saw 2 Welsh guys look up, and it might as well have been Elvis Presley reincarnated walked in. They both soiled themselves at the sight of Henry Winkler. And I said, hey, Kelly Richards, this is my friend Jed and his dad, Henry. And they literally, neither one of them acknowledged Jed. Yeah, right. They were staring at Henry, and Kelly stood up, and he literally goes, I'm about to shake the effing Fonz's hand. He could, as it happened, he put his hand out. Yeah. And Henry goes, yeah, shake away, like laughing about it. And they were beside themselves at a level like you've never seen. Oh. They've never been like that with a rock guy, I guarantee it. But it was like, and then, they just lost their minds. And I said later, I was like, so you guys grew up with Happy Days? They looked at me like I'm insane. They're like, it's Happy Days. He's the Fonz. I'm like, yeah, but you were like 3 when that show started, and you were in Wales. But it just speaks to how ginormous Happy Days was around the world.
And I'm sure he knows it, which is all the weirder that he gets keep getting stopped as a man on the street by reporters in England. I think this one was in England, doesn't recognize it's Henry Winkler, and starts asking him questions about, I don't know, some sort of legislation or noise ordinance.
Hello. Oh, I was going to ask you a question. Are you a voter? You are.
I'm not.
Are you not?
Well, I'm a voter in America.
But in America, I just wondered whether you were a resident here or not. Of course, I recognise you, but we're
I'm just
from the
doing
BBC.
A pantomime.
Oh, of course you are. Fantastic.
Richmond.
How's it going? When do you start?
Is it great? We started. We end the 12th of January.
So are you living here temporarily?
Yeah, I am. Hard to commute.
Yeah.
When you do 2 shows a day.
You can't. Very hard. It's exhausting enough as it is.
I will say, we are as funny in January as we are in December.
Do you have a view on, there's a plan out today to potentially expand Heathrow, stick another runway there.
Now, let me ask you a question. Would that bring more people to the economy?
It will bring more people to the economy, but more noise potentially to a place like this.
To Richmond.
Yeah.
Richmond is a lovely place. I watch the planes go every day. I hear nothing.
You're relaxed.
I am.
It's so great.
Stay on topic.
Like the reporter afterwards says, I knew he was someone immediately when I started talking. I knew he was someone, but I couldn't quite place this chap.
Well, now, would that bring more people to the... I mean, it's just so funny.
He's so sincere about it, too.
Most earnest guy in the world.
Oh, okay, expanding Heathrow. Well, let me actually get into this. Like the rest of us would be going, yeah, I'm listening. I know you don't know, but I got to... Motor along here.
There was a show years ago that was on the BBC, and then they did an Americanized version of it. It was called Little Britain. Did you ever catch that? On BBC show Little Britain, then HBO did one, Little America. The same British actors did the same kind of show here. Little Britain was a great comedy. Two men playing every character, just tons of these people from all over Britain, these bizarre characters. And there was one character... hang on, this is going somewhere. One of the characters was from a little tiny Welsh village, and he was openly gay and dressed very flamboyantly. And every time they would show him, he's in the pub, and he was constantly trying to get everyone's attention by being so gay, and no one cared. It's like, hello, David, how's your beer? And then anytime anyone else came in who was also gay, his line was, "I'm the only gay in this village." He would take it very. He was like, get out of my corner. It was really funny, and I thought of that when I saw another Henry Winkler story recently. No need to go into all the details. Henry Winkler has had a legitimate beef, disagreement with one man in Hollywood. They do not like each other. They have been literally enemies for almost 40 years. Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
the two nicest guys in Hollywood literally dislike each other intently, apparently.
That's like Tom Hanks
I'm the nicest guy in the village. No, I'm the nicest guy in the village. It's so funny to me.
I was just trying to think of an analogy, and I realized the only analogy is that would be like Tom Hanks having a feud with Henry Winkler.
That's exactly what it is.
It's so
That's
crazy.
Exactly what it is. It makes no sense, and then it makes perfect sense.
Who do you think would win in the fight? I'd go with Winkler. He seems scrappy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Hanks has a few years on him. I always allow for that. But you're right. Yeah, Henry Winkler, he's just too nice. I think Tom Hanks possesses the ability to be a dick occasionally if he wants to.
Oh, I'd say so.
I don't think Henry does. I just don't know if he does or not. He's just too over the top. I don't know. I'd love to. I would pay for that pay-per-view fight before I'd pay to see Tyson fight
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Winkler probably knows Krav Maga.
You know what? You're
right
exactly
to the throat.
Right. Yeah, he's a great defensive martial art practitioner for sure.
He'd just be a kind of a dancer or a rope-a-doper, I think Hanks would be.
I'm going to be laying in bed tonight trying to go to sleep with images of Hanks and Winkler wrestling in my head like it's Christmas Eve.
Making a beer run? Listen anywhere you go. Stream 92KQRS on your phone.
We are a car-based society. I mean, we all get that. Cars are not just a way to get to and fro from A to B. They represent our personalities. We we see ourselves as, I'm a this guy or I'm a that guy. Or
it's a home away from home, especially when you're stuck in traffic. You got all your stuff in there that you want and, snacks and TV and whatever. But
depending on the kind of car you have, it can you eat in the car, you sleep in the car.
All my stuff right there.
Sometimes people, I don't know, like say you have a 2014 Hyundai Genesis. Sometimes you just get busy in the car. You just knock the nickels right out of somebody's pockets back there. A woman in Missouri, as some call it, has sued Geico, the auto insurance provider. Geico, she says, should compensate her $1 million for, quote, past and future
auto policy that they throw disease in there. Has anyone ever gotten a disease from an auto accident?
I don't. Well, okay.
Right,
here's one. It's not a disease, but if you medical expenses for, quote, mental and physical pain and suffering because in the back seat of her 2014 Hyundai Genesis, she contracted an STD.
Was it from a gecko? Was it from one of the cavemen?
Just to make sure this is a straight line for you listening. The woman had sex in her car and contracted a sexually transmitted disease, and she now thinks that Geico, the company who insured that vehicle, should give her $1 million.
Was it the Geico insurance agent, perhaps?
No, it was not. She says,
how does it... Yeah.
Listen, under the auto policy, quote, this is from her attorney, bodily injury means bodily injury to a person, including resulting sickness, disease, or death.
Well, I'm surprised
again,
disease is in there with
you can get the shingles from an injury.
From a trauma
Like
of some sort?
Yeah, like shingles sits in your central nervous system if you've got chicken pox, but a lot of times it's just dormant. But if you can have a back injury, you can have something like like whiplash. You jerk your spinal cord and it releases into your bloodstream. Apparently,
maybe she
something
had
like that,
like a herpes breakout or something because of this.
Well,
she got laid in the vehicle, got a contracted an STD from this dude. And is this thing gone to court?
It has gone to court.
Really?
The judge agreed. Okay, Geico's argument was sexually transmitted diseases do not occur in the quote normal use of the automobile.
Haven't you ever gotten into a little fender bender and suddenly your wiener was in a woman?
Apparently, it happens more often than you would think.
Yeah.
The judge said, quote, upon review of the parties' arguments, the court finds that consensual sexual relations in the car does not constitute a use of the automobile within the meaning of the subject policy. She is appealing the lower court's ruling.
She's going to take this one all the way to the top.
Geico's lawyers, here's their thing. The auto policy does not cover liability for injury caused by the transmission of a sexually transmitted disease merely on the basis that a covered vehicle was used as a shelter for or as the site of sexual activity. Do you imagine? Someone went to law school.
Yeah.
Someone worked hard, I would imagine.
Yep.
Someone got a job as in-counsel for Geico, in-house counsel, and they had to produce that sentence.
I like that she got someone to take her case, most likely. I mean, I guess we didn't read that in the story. I'm assuming she's being represented. Who knows? I mean, someone probably fine-tooth combed that policy and went, disease, we've got it. I think we've got something here. Let's run it up the flagpole and see if Geico will just settle. Maybe it was one of those.
The judge also questioned, so should Geico be liable for every unwanted pregnancy that occurs in the backseat of one of its vehicles?
Yikes.
I mean, making the point.
Yeah.
The court is yet to issue a ruling, but it seems like the judge certainly knows where he sees this one going. I mean, you spill hot McDonald's coffee in your lap, get third-degree burns. I get it. I get the point.
Yeah.
You're just getting your freak on in the backseat of a car and with someone that, hands over the keys to the chlamydia kingdom.
Right. What ladies
or whatever it was.
The chlamydia kingdom. I love it.
I was just looking for a little alliteration there.
Streaming now from wherever you get audio. Search 92KQRS.
There's a Craigslist ad that is worth mentioning. It's in Minneapolis. There is a 1998 Mercedes E320 station wagon for sale, and somebody really wants to sell this car, and they want to sell it to me because I read this and I don't even want the car, but I just want to be a part of this person's life. This is I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here's just a few highlights of the Craigslist ad. This car is incredible. I actually don't even want to sell it, but every single person in my life is telling me I have to. I'm really tired, so I'm going to get rid of the old girl. That being said, this station wagon is immortal. It has been around for eons. It will continue to run long after we're dead. First built sometime in the late Pleistocene era, Neanderthal families used to drive it up onto the fjords to hunt mastodon. 10,000, and it goes on and on. Not for nothing, but this thing is a babe, hunk, non-binary, attractive person magnet. Get laid like crazy. It has rear-facing seats for drive-in movie theaters and makeout points. Pack 8 people and head to the nude beach, you pervert. This wagon doesn't judge. And it goes on and on. And that's not all. It comes with 2/3 of a gas tank already inside. That's all profit, baby.
Yeah.
A bunch of cassette tapes. You can have them. Husker Du, Leonard Cohen. That one Smashing Pumpkins album was 0 on it because let's be real, that's the only good Smashing Pumpkins song. It's all yours. Thank you, whoever wrote this. I hope you sell this car. It goes on and on and on and on. And towards the end, he says, anyway, $750 or best offer. I will consider trades such as a kayak, a baby goat, crossbow, or a dirt bike.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it'd be worth to spend the money just to meet that person who wrote it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. But if you need a 98 Mercedes wagon, there's one for $750 or a crossbow. So knock yourself out.
It looks like it's in decent condition.
It does.
There's a bunch of rust.
It's just get some foil, rub it out.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of a car because my family made me get rid of a car as well. I had a Toyota Prius for a few years. Zep, just hang on. Bear with me. No, I was on the road a lot in 2013, and on a couple of occasions I rented a car and I got a Prius twice. And this is why I loved it, because I could just see everything, like the windows, the size. It was the best vision I've ever had in a car. I felt like I was in a convertible. That's how well I could see, and I just was so attracted to that. And then I thought it was kind of cool that it was so quiet. Whatever. Got home and I needed a new car. I'd had a Volvo wagon for almost 20 years, and I was like, I'm getting a new car. I got a Prius, and for like 2 years, every time my kids got in it, they were like, "Oh my God, why did you get this car?" and so I thought, well, I'm going to keep it forever. The way they're hassling me. I knew it was time to get rid of it when a friend sat in it, and they started laughing when I put it in gear, and it just sounds like a. and he goes, so does this thing beep when you put it in reverse like a golf cart? And the truth is, it did. I put it in reverse, and it went.
Oh, that's cute.
And I was like, yeah, probably. This is enough.
You made your point.
I made my point.
You made the good stand. Listen, a good buddy of mine, George, drives a Prius still to this day. He's a big old tough construction worker, hunting guy. We call him Indiana Jones. He wears the fedora, the whole thing. But he drives 1 million miles a year. And he's like, I'm just not spending money on gas. And, if I can't pass somebody, then I can't pass someone. But it was that movement several years ago, and we talked about it on the show at the time, and that was that there was a national movement among Prius drivers to drive the speed limit in the passing lane, to not let anyone pass.
My God, I would have never been a part of that.
In an effort to slow people down, conserve gas, and if you want to drive your big trucks, that's fine, and kill the planet, but we're going to slow you down by driving slow in the left lane. It was started out in Oregon, of course, and so that's when I got a chip on my shoulder about Priuses. But
this is the first I've ever heard of that plan, and I'm now retroactively horrified and ashamed of my previous attachment to a Prius.
I don't think it made it out of Oregon, but
good.
You know how it is over there. It's good. It's good. The good comes with the bad, but anyway,
not my favorite car I've ever had. I can tell you, my favorite car was the free Dodge Dart some guy I never met gave me once. That's the beater, the complete the car that is on its last legs forever. Those are our favorites.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Okay, all week long we've been doing the father aptitude test here on the KQ Morning Show. We've been having a lot of fun ahead of Father's Day, but we did save, I imagine, the best for last. Tony Lee, his two sons, Hudson and Augie, have taken time out of their very busy soccer careers to join us on the KQ Morning Show. This is the only time all summer that they are in the same place at the same time without one of them playing soccer. So thank you both for joining us. Hudson and Augie, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen to those two. Just
Cubs.
Good guys right there. So you guys know what we're doing, right? You understand how the father aptitude test works, right?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, then I've got a series of questions. I'm going to ask you guys about your dad. We'll start off. We'll alternate. I'll call out which guy is supposed to answer, and we'll go down the list, and then we'll see. We'll bring Tony back in, and we'll see how well he and you think you both know him, if that makes any sense. So let's do this. Tony?
I'm out. Good luck, monkeys.
Tony, see you later.
Adios.
All right, now that Tony's not here, guys, let's spill the dirt. No dirt at all. All right, let's start with this one. Easy one. Hudson, what is your dad's favorite band?
His favorite band is the Beatles.
Wow, a lot of love for the Beatles around here, and that makes sense. Did you guys grow up hearing the Beatles a lot in the house?
We have a poster right by us right now.
All right, that's solid. What poster? What era? What are we looking at?
A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, strong. Okay. All right, moving on. Augie, what is your dad's favorite movie?
Cinderella.
What is it? I didn't hear.
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest. Right on.
Was there an elbow jab there? Because I could have swore I heard Cinderella and then a snicker.
Yeah, that's what he said for.
That is what he said for Cinderella. Hudson, then did you give him a jab, or are you guys just messing around?
I think he was messing around there.
All right.
That's a good one.
Chip off the old block.
Well, the Cinderella answer confirms that these are Tony's kids on the phone, in case anyone was wondering. All right, that's great. North by Northwest, I got it. All right, Hudson, your dad's favorite sport to watch on TV. What is it?
NFL football.
Fair enough. A long-suffering Vikings fan, I guess.
Yep.
Are you a Vikings fan as well?
Yeah, any sports pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Augie, what kind of grades did your dad get in school?
Probably some B's and A's, especially in English.
B's and A's, especially in English. So, all right, he was getting his work done. I'm glad to hear that.
Or at least that's what he told him.
Yeah, exactly. My kids were both in high school the first time it occurred to them to look at me when I was giving them some nonsense about working hard. And Connell goes, be honest, what kind of grades did you get? And I said, that is not the point here.
Yeah, he knows what that means.
Yeah, you know it. All right, Hudson, what is something you do that irritates your dad?
Well, it's not me. It's not me, but I don't think he likes when August clogs the toilet like every day.
Yes.
All right, that'll work. We'll take that. You just set yourself up for payback, but that's all right. We're going to accept it.
Is he on a different diet than you what? What are you guys eating? I love it.
Fantastic. All right, Augie, what is something your dad does to embarrass you?
Sometimes he's like loud in public spaces.
Tony Lee?
Loud in public spaces, just could it be anywhere, like restaurant or the movie theater, just anywhere?
It could be anywhere.
Wow, that's great. It could be anywhere. The Tony Lee story. All right, Hudson, if your dad's picking the restaurant, where are you going to eat?
This one I couldn't really choose. I know his favorite restaurant, but that's like in Chicago.
Okay. Well, I mean, throw it out there. Hey, we didn't say it had to be in the Twin Cities.
Cortino in Chicago. Anywhere with like good pasta,
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Strong. Cortino in Chicago. All right, Augie, what is your dad's least favorite food?
I'm going to say onions or like chives.
Onions or chives? Wow. Do you like onions or chives?
No.
No. Probably for the best. Just steer clear. Okay, Hudson, your dad's all-time favorite pet. Who was that?
Schnapsy, I think that was his dog.
Yeah.
I think I've heard about old Schnapsy back in the day. Yeah. All right, Augie, what will your dad say is the chore or the task around the house that he has the hardest time getting you to do?
Me and him usually pick up after Hudson a lot.
I don't know what he said. I don't think that's true.
That's strong. All right, we've got that one. All right, guys, 2 left, so you each have one more answer. Hudson, what's the coolest thing you've ever gotten to do because of your dad's job? Like, he is Mr. Radio. What's the coolest thing that ever came from that for you?
Definitely, I get to work in his studio and do music in there and stuff. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Definitely a chip off the block there.
Yep, no question about it. All right, Augie, last one. What will your dad say is the ultimate Father's Day gift? Either something you guys have already done in the past on Father's Day or like a dream possible. What would be the coolest? However you want to answer it, go for it.
His dream would be probably Hudson picking up after himself for Father's Day.
All right, that's the ultimate Father's Day gift.
Got a dream big.
That's great. All right, fair enough. Guys, both really, really well done. We've been waiting all week. More than worth the wait, too, I should say. So, all right, I think it's time to get Tony back on the case here.
All right, we're getting him
plug him back in.
All right, here he comes. The proud papa. Yep.
There he is.
How's my boys?
Tony.
How are my boys?
Oh, it was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man, yeah. That seemed like it was 45 minutes.
There was a lot of screaming. There was some elbows thrown. There's some nausea. It was everything you want.
I expect that.
They broke one phone. We had to go to the backup phone.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, here we go. So Tony, and I'll tell you which of your boys answered each question in case just to give you a little insight there.
Okay.
So the first question, Hudson answered, "Who is your dad's favorite band?"
Yeah, well, Beatles.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
right
it.
next to the poster.
Yeah, the Hard Day's Night poster was the
cool
tip-off.
Movie marquee original poster from Rachel's family at a movie theater up in the Iron Range.
Nice. I was the only dad this week that didn't say the Beatles. I wish I would have now.
It's not too late. You can recant at any time. You're legally allowed to do that. All right, Tony, number 2, Augie was asked, "What's your dad's favorite movie?"
All-time North by Northwest, Alfred Hitchcock.
Well done. But Augie, do you want to tell your dad? Do you want to tell your dad what you said first?
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Oh, a strong second, of course. Makes me weep. Cinderella.
When he said that, I thought I misheard. I went, "I'm sorry, what was that?" I forgot who we were dealing with.
He's being a goofball.
Tony's wearing his glass slippers this morning.
Someday, my prince will come.
It is Friday. All right, next up, Hudson was asked, "What's your dad's favorite sport to watch on television?"
Yeah, basketball close, but I go with football.
Yeah, boom,
Ding, ding,
NFL.
ding, ding, ding. I don't have your sound effects, man.
That's all right.
Sure.
I like the ding, 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 ding. All right, Tony. These are great. Okay, Augie was asked, "What kind of grades did your dad get in school?"
I didn't do phenomenal. I did well enough to get into college. Then I did better once I was in there. So, I don't know what specifics.
Yeah, I mean, what's the average? What were you looking at?
Probably B.
Okay, Augie, your answer was what exactly?
There were some A's and B's.
But especially in
English.
English, that's right.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's where I got my best grade.
All right, well then we're gonna
yeah.
Dad.
I had a class in college called Understanding Everyday Life, and I got a B. What does that say?
It's fantastic. Okay, next up, we asked Hudson, "What is something that you do that irritates your dad?"
Hudson, if we have to go somewhere, he's always, "Wait in the car, I'll be right there." And then I'll be in the car for like 20 minutes. He gets ready.
I'm sure that's true, but that is not what Hudson said. Hudson, do you want to share with your father what your answer was?
Yeah, well, I don't really think there's much that I do wrong. I think it's mostly August, and I think he clogs the toilet every day.
I don't know.
Well, that is a daily occurrence. I can't believe he said that. No, I find that soothing.
That was the real laugh we were waiting all morning for.
Yeah, that's the best wrong answer we've had all
Poor
week.
August.
It's great. Well, okay, Augie's up next. What is something your dad does to embarrass you? What do you think Augie said?
Oh, well, a couple things. I have a tendency, I call them both honey a lot, and I know I have to stop that doing it in front of their friends or calling them Augie or Hudsy, and they're Hudson and August. Probably doing like weird characters or voices, just acting odd in public.
Yes, indeedy.
You
That's
got
they
around
said.
to it. Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Augie, what he said was, well, he can be loud in public spaces.
I'm guessing
was great.
you're singing Cinderella or using one of your voices. Yeah.
It's really good. All right, up next, this is for Hudson. If your dad picks the restaurant, where would you go to eat? It can be any restaurant anywhere.
Wow, I don't usually get to pick. I don't have much of a say in family excursions.
Yeah, but you do right
at the
now.
last.
This is your turn, Tony.
It would be an Italian place, although I like to go out to breakfast a lot. Mm-hmm. But I'd go with some Italian place.
So, but specifically, just name one. It could be anywhere.
Wow, D'Amico.
Okay, not true, not correct, but you were in the zone. Hudson took it down to the Windy City and said Cortino.
Oh my God! What a great memory!
Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just there a year ago.
Ari said any place with pasta, so that's a strong half point.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. That's totally good. All right, Augie was up next. What is your dad's least favorite food?
Oh, easy onions. Ick.
Yep.
Boom.
And chives?
Hate chives.
Yeah.
The consistency, that little snap, crunch.
The look on his face
That's
right
my
now.
boy.
Disgust.
Well done, Augie. He said onions or chives. Bang.
Good man.
Okay, Hudson up next. What was your dad's all-time favorite pet?
Oh, wow. I feel guilty
Of course.
because he's a spirit in the sky. It was Schnapsy the Dachshund, but my current Lulu the Golden Doodle has captured my heart as the superstar.
See, that's so sweet. Hudson, what'd you say?
Oh, I said Schnapsy, but I guess it could be Lulu.
He said Schnapsy without hesitation.
We're ding ding. We're going to give him that one because you went
That's
right
good.
to Schnapsy. Now he's crying over there.
Oh, all right.
Schnapsy.
Now we're rolling. Augie was asked, what will your dad say is the chore or task he has the hardest time getting you to do?
Getting August to do?
Yeah.
Oh, cleaning up his hurricane aftermath of a room.
Okay, close. Augie, what was your answer?
I said Hudson not picking up after himself.
Oh, you put it on HUD? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said.
Solid half point.
Yeah, all right.
Solid half point. All right, Hudson's final question of the day. What's the coolest thing you've gotten to do because of your dad's job?
Oh, he loves to come into the studio and make beats, and he's a very talented music creator.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding,
the
ding,
boys
ding.
both come in and play.
Yeah.
Well done. Bingo right there, baby.
All right.
All right, so, man, you were just rolling. All right, Augie, the final question of the day. What will your dad say would be the ultimate Father's Day gift?
That I've ever got? Oh, that's pretty easy. This was just a couple Father's Days ago. Rachel and Hudson and August put on a show for me. It was a puppet show, and they had skits, and they did a story of my life, and I was just bawling.
Oh,
it was beautiful and funny, and they had all the details in there, like a coach I hated, experiences I had, people I've known along the way. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
That is
moving.
Beautiful, and
Crushed
nothing
me.
at all what was on August's mind.
Okay.
Not even close. Augie, what did you say?
I said the dream Father's Day gift was to Hudson to clean up after himself.
that would be golden as well.
For Hudson to clean up after himself, then the puppet show. Get it right. Well, I'm calling that. That looks like 11 for 12, which means that's, I believe, the best percentage of the week, gentlemen.
My babies.
We got the new champs.
Boy, that was very strong. Hudson and August, a couple of budding soccer stars, taking time out of their busy athletic careers. Thank you both so much for being here. It made this day very special for all of us, and especially your pops.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Oh, so polite. I love you guys. I'll see you a little later.
All right.
Oh.
And you didn't say honey. That was good of you, Tony.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
That's all you have to do. Beat the toaster. It's time again. Here's what we do. We pop a slice of bread into the toaster. Here in the studio, we're going to give you a category. Then you name as many things that pop into your head as possible in 15 seconds before the toast pops. It's fun. It's stressful. Prizes at stake. Beat the toaster.
It's fun for us.
It is indeed to do.
All right. Who is contestant number one, Tony?
Number one, we have our pal Jeff from Baldwin.
Jeff, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready to beat the toaster, my man?
I'm going to give it a try.
That's the old sportsman's college effort. What the hell am I trying to say? Screw it. Tony, let's see what Jeff has up his sleeve.
I like his fighting spirit.
There it is. That's what I was trying to say.
Jeff, we're going to start off with the first round is kind of a warm-up. Nice warm piece of toast. Why don't you go ahead and tell me some typical common Father's Day gifts? Go ahead.
Gift cards, golf outings, balloon rides, parachute jumping, tools.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
Radios.
Nope.
Yeah, we're done, Jeff. We're done.
Has popped.
Yeah.
But my God, I'm doing this all wrong. Golf outings, balloon rides, parachute jumps. Good Lord.
The hell?
My daughter gave me a parachute jump. It was really fun.
Was it out there in Baldwin, Wisconsin?
Yes.
Yes, I've jumped out of a plane over there once or twice myself. You didn't end up in the old the dairy sewage pit over there, did you?
That's a soft landing.
No power lines either.
Good man.
Well, Jeff, before the ding, we got 5. So a strong start for round 1. Well played, sir. Happy Father's Day in advance. We're going to put you on hold and go to caller number 2. Who we got, Tony?
Number 2 is our buddy Mark.
Yes, sir.
Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you feeling like it's time for some toast?
I'm very, very hungry right now.
Attaboy. All right. Well, round 1 is usually a little easier. It's a bit of a warm-up. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you much.
All right, Marky Mark, why don't you go ahead and tell us typical common things that dads might like to do in their spare time? Go.
Fish, golf, go to baseball games, football games, cut the lawn, road trips, bowling, hitting the bar.
Yeah.
Hitting the bar.
Right on. Fishing, golfing, baseball, football, lawn, road trips, boy, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Woo!
Done the Funky Bunch proud.
Man, hitting the bar for crazy 8s right there. That was strong, Mark. Very, very strong effort. Right now, you've got a 3-point lead over Jeff. But, gentlemen, I do have to remind you, round 2 is when we separate the wheat from the chaff around here usually. Tony, let's get to separating.
All right, let's do that. Jeff, you ready to rock? There are many superheroes that have strong and impressive powers. You know, you got your Superman, your Iron Man. Go the opposite. Think of superheroes that are not super. Their powers are not impressive. What are their names? Go.
I don't have. Oh boy. I got nothing. I got.
I'll give him one. Right. I got nothing, man.
You know, that's where you need to have watched that very average movie that I seem to love more than your average person, Mystery Men. You guys ever watch that?
No.
Stiller, Greg Kinnear, Jeffrey Rush is in it. William H. Macy is in it.
No.
They've got the worst. There's, in fact, Paul Rubens plays the spleen. His power is farting. He throws down major farts, and then Mr. Furious is Ben Stiller.
Well, I can do that.
Yeah, well, I know. But you would have had to been like an oddball like me, and you could have come up with the shoveler, the bowler, the spleen.
I don't know where it comes from, but when Tony read that off, he said, what would some of those superheroes' names be? The first thing I thought was Slug Boy.
Yeah, Slug Boy is a good one.
Slug Boy
Pencil Head.
Slimy.
The Waffler.
Pencil Head, yeah.
The incompetent.
I don't watch many movies, apparently.
That was difficult, man.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Skunked on that one.
It's the way the toast burns, baby.
All right, Jeff, hang tight for a second. We got to see how Mark's going to finish here. Mark, are you ready for round 2?
I don't think so. Not after that guy.
No, boy. Come on, let's see what Tony's got up his sleeve. We got to play out the side.
All right, Marcus. For some reason, you've decided to make Jell-O. Name some things, anything that you could put there in the mold. Go.
Fruit. Chocolate chips. Let's see. What else? Well, that's a toughie. Jell-O, huh? Cereal.
Okay, could have been anything. All right.
Cereal.
3 solid items.
Golf tees, whatever.
Yes,
we would have taken anything.
I swear there were those carrots and celery, and why would you? I wasn't a big Jell-O fan to begin with, but then they started putting stuff in there.
A sock.
Mark, well played, sir. It looks like you are today's winner. You've got Celeste Barber tickets, State Theater, June 20th. Jeff, thanks for calling in and trying, brother. Great effort on your part. I wish you guys both a great weekend. All the best.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! There you have it.
Good job, fellas.
Yeah, that was a good job.
A Minnesota standoff is when two or more cars are stopped at an intersection and no one will just go. Now that we've identified this problem, stop doing it so we can literally move on. While blasting 92 KQRS.
We've been talking about cars a lot today. Old beaters, crazy stories from our cars. Check this out. Let me ask you a question. Hang on, got to let the song play. Wow.
You're such a musician.
Yeah, it just makes me feel good to hear that.
And that's
all right. If it were going to make roads safer and if it were going to prevent speeding, what would you say to the suggestion that gas pedals be harder and harder to push the faster you go?
No safety hazard there.
Starting next month, there will be cars in Europe that will be required to have tech that alerts you if you're speeding.
Yeah.
It will alert you you're speeding. You'll be able to turn the feature off, though, so I'm not sure what the point is. Some people want it added to cars in America as well. Insurance companies do a lot of polls. Surprisingly popular idea. Over half Americans think it would be fine to feature to okay. Over half of Americans polled said it would be okay to feature that in your car. The beginning of every trip, you're safer, helps you avoid a ticket. They want the car to say, slow down.
Well, I mean, I have that feature in the truck right now. I can ignore it marvelously.
It's called a speedometer, right?
Yeah, it does, but it goes red. When you go over the speed, 2 miles an hour over the speed limit, it turns red, which I think is cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, you want to be in the red.
I want to be in the red,
that's your
man.
goal.
That makes me feel like a badass, you know? Like a freaking NASCAR driver out there.
The idea that as you sped up, once you were going beyond the speed limit, the gas pedal would be harder and harder to push down, that seems problematic to me for sure.
It does. It sounds like a workout, you know? I want to pin that thing now. Yeah. Now it sounds like a challenge.
I've got a cramp.
Better than what they've come up with out in California. They've already introduced this legislation. I'm not sure. This was a while ago. It may have failed at the state level.
It will require cars and trucks that are manufactured or sold in California to contain what we call speed governors or speed limiters that physically prevent the vehicle from traveling more than 10 miles an hour above the speed limit. It'll still be illegal to go above the speed limit, of course, but it will be physically impossible to make the car go more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Why don't you go jump in the ocean?
Yeah, let me tell you something. When I'm got to get to that emergency room stat and the car's like, sorry, Steve, you are only allowed to go 9.5 miles over the speed limit. There's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I don't think, like I said, that was at the state level. I don't think it made it to the Cali legislature.
We've all had beaters that had problems of their own before we let someone stick more things on them. On the KQRS Facebook page, Christopher wrote, 1979 Dodge Omni. I'm familiar with that car. My brother Jim had one of those. 3 of 4 door handles broken. Hatch wouldn't stay up. Windows wouldn't go down. Engine was hard to start. Accelerator stuck to the floor if pressed too hard. Dad installed a manual choke. Had to work the choke, turn the key, and work the pedal to get it started. It was like a mini cardio workout.
Yeah. I mean,
how drunk were American auto workers in the 1970s?
Fairly.
Wow.
I imagine pretty liquored up. Jennifer had a Dodge Shadow convertible backup. The top was bad. Key was stuck in the ignition. When you'd stop at the top of an off-ramp, the engine would start on fire. We figured out if you got on it again, the fire would go out because of the top and the key. I always thought I'd come out of the store one day and it would be gone, but no such luck.
No
sure.
Just a little engine fire. No big deal.
Whatever it takes. You know, I mean, come on. Live a little. What's a fire between friends?
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I don't know about you guys, but, I've never had an issue. Again, growing up in a house with a lot of people, 10 folks, not enough bathrooms, no real bathroom issues with me. If you got to go, you got to go. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a truck stop on earth with a dirty enough bathroom to keep me from getting in there and taking care of business. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. There's not a rest area. On the family Gorman trips as kids, we're driving to Detroit to go see Grandma and Grandpa, and you pull over at the rest areas on the Pennsylvania Turnpike because we're not going to pull off and pay the toll to get off the Turnpike, and we're not going to buy food. So we have packed sandwiches. We have packed sodas. We have our own food in the car. We pull into a rest area. We have lunch, and if you got to go, you hit that nasty-ass Pennsylvania Turnpike rest area, you go in there and you take care of your business. And what we used to do, the Gorman boys, and we used to think this was the funniest thing ever in human history, is one, sometimes two of us, you go into a stall, and then you just start groaning and grunting, making as loud. It just, like, you would hear any number of Gorman boys go, "Ah!" And then... And I remember very specifically my brother Doug one time taking it to a point where he was literally going, oh, yeah, come on, yes! I mean, like, and I'm 7, he's 9 in there doing this, and I'm just dying, right? And we'd go in there for, 10 minutes. It was just awesome. And, of course, I now look back and realize any adult would recognize these are kids and they're just goofing around. But we thought we were fooling everybody. We just thought they must think, there must be a trucker in there, Right. But I'm just all of these bizarre memories floating through my mind as I see that now, there's just one place I know of, but something tells me this is gonna be coming around the mountain as she comes. A World Heritage tourist site in China. It's called the Yungang Grottos. There's cave art that's 1,500 years old at this section at these grottos in China. They have public bathrooms. They've got a lot of stalls, and they have installed digital timers above each stall door. Oh, geez. So you can see how long it's been since that door shut, since the person in there, and everybody knows how long they've been in there.
All right, so it's counting up. It's not one of these countdown things, then the door just pops open.
That would be amazing.
Lights go off.
That'd be amazing. Can you imagine if it's a little, if there's a beeper, but it gets faster as it gets closer to 0? Like your backup camera in the car?
Yeah, I did one more wipe.
Oh my God! Yeah. No, it's an ascending. It's an ascending.
People.
It's an ascending timer, and so what they're saying is, what the authorities are saying is that no. Listen, this is a safety feature. This way, in case someone's in there for really a long time, maybe they've had a medical emergency and they can't call for help. Nonsense. That is ridiculous. Yeah. This is entirely, look, get in there, get it out, work through it, and keep it moving.
Yeah, no playing solitaire in there. When I'm at home, I've got to win a game of solitaire on my phone before I can wrap up my business. And sometimes you'd be surprised. I know it seems like a simple game, but you just get a bad run of cards.
Sure.
I don't do that in public. We got to keep on schedule and keep things moving. There are other people in there that have to use it. But, I would not dig the timer in the bathroom.
Man, I'm my first thought was you're going to start seeing this at airports. Yeah. That's where they'll do it. That's where they'll put them in there.
Well, you got to wonder in the airport sometimes. Now, I don't generally have to think about the last time I had to actually use a stall at an airport. That doesn't happen very often. I usually have my timing down pretty good, I guess, unless maybe I had a long layover or something like that. But, I don't think in American dudes would like the timer very much. I just don't think we'd be all about that. I think there'd be some blowback, as it were.
I agree. I think that would be kind of a tough one.
Either that or we just wouldn't give a rat's rear,
I have this.
Make it a competition. Maybe it's an incentive.
Is that all you were in there for?
Sure,
minutes?
Fire it
That's
up.
Nothing.
Yeah, do better on your numbers.
Or what if it was like batting cages? You could pick your speed. You know what I mean? I think I can drop that deuce in 70 seconds. Drop that deuce, and then you run in there and they shut the door, and it just I got this.
Maybe
I got
they
this.
had a leaderboard in there. Who was was in there the shortest amount of time. You know, like if you're at an arcade, you know, the old leaderboard on the digital display there at the end, like, oh, number one, baby.
Yeah, high score in Galaga.
Yeah.
There could be a joint. It's time. It's the quickest time versus amount of tonnage left behind, if you will. It's like Chet Waterhouse, the speed fishing. You know, it's lap time and how many walleye you pull out of the combination speed skating, ice fishing.
Yeah, I guess I'm only wiping once. I hope I get a clean pinch.
Yeah, that's
feces.
It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. I remember I walked off a plane in Nashville probably 6-7 years ago, and it was delayed late, and I had been drinking on the flight, and it's probably 1 a.m., and I walked right off that flight, and I had to pee so bad, and I walked in the bathroom, and I was like, this is a really nice bathroom. It's nothing but stalls. Wow, it's so weird. And I'm in there, and I just had to pee, but I'm like, yeah, I'll sit down. I'll just take a load off, and I walked out of that stall, and then it took me that long to realize, like, oh wait, I think I'm in the wrong bathroom. And I walked right out, and thank God the airport was deserted. But my flight was the only flight that had come in that late, and thankfully no one from my flight stepped in there. But as I exited the women's room, there were several people right there walking off and who looked at me like, duh.
Yeah. Did you give them the old, I got that toilet fixed?
That really, I should have. That could have gone really, really wrong.
Oh, yeah. Hi, chicks.
Yeah. Yeah, just making sure everything's the way I thought it would be in here.
I've done that. Well, you know, you've taken this. Sometimes the men's room is on the left, sometimes it's on the right, and you're stumbling along. Maybe you've had a couple. I've done that, but not at an airport, but I've done that before. But usually you know immediately when you're in a woman's bathroom, and it's not just because of the lack of urinals. It's there's a fragrance, there's a couch.
It's decorative.
Usually, yeah, there's flowers.
Wall hangings.
Yeah, right.
Throw pillows.
Wallpaper.
Throw pillows. Got my nails done while I was taking care of business. Hey, listen up. KQ's Karaoke Cruise is back June 21st on Paddleford Riverboats. 2 karaoke stages, drinks with the KQ crew. Hey, that's us. And free food from Lucky's 13 Pub. Tickets are on sale at 92kqrs.com. Sponsored by Alexander Exteriors and Dennis Kirk. The karaoke cruise will be a blast. And if you get up there and suck, if you are the worst karaoke performer on the whole boat, you know what? You still just get to go home and have a good time and laugh maybe about it. Yeah. There's no punishment, is my point.
Why are you looking at me?
We're not.
When you say that?
Well, you're across the table. You know, you're there. No, my point is this. Even if you come in last place, not that there's a vote for last place, but if you leave, the shame is yours, but that's all there is. There's not going to be an additional punishment. Like, say if you lost your fantasy football league. A woman in North Carolina, follow me here, was just fired from her job. She's a server at a very upscale restaurant in Charlotte, North Carolina. Very nice place. And what she did that violated the terms of her employment was she posted a TikTok video while on the job of a customer. That's not cool, right?
Yeah, okay.
But here's what the customer was doing. He was seated at a table, ordering a meal, dining with a blow-up sex doll.
That's a cheap date. Yeah.
And the server was like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but come on, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, yeah.
She was fired for breaking the rules. So now... Why, you may be asking. Okay, we know why she got fired.
Yeah,
that happened.
Rules is rules.
She did it. But let's get back to the subject of her TikTok.
Yeah.
A dude at an upscale restaurant seated across the table from a blow-up sex doll. That's right. He lost his fantasy football league.
Yes.
And as many fantasy football leagues have, loser leaves town. Or in this case, loser has to do something entirely humiliating.
Oh, yeah. So he has to go to an upscale restaurant, the fancy restaurant, with a blow-up doll. I mean, that's... And you're by yourself, and you know... Okay, yeah, you know you're going to get the ridicule and the stares and the condemnation, and you've got a poor woman fired.
Now, I don't know if this was one of the terms, but I would assume it was. You're not allowed to tell anyone why you're doing this.
Oh, of course.
Well, sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. I was skiing out in Utah this spring, and there was a woman, I thought, standing there initially with humongous boobs. I mean, way over the top Dolly Parton. I mean, way over the top boobs in a onesie from the 1970s, one of those old throwback ski jumpsuit kind of deal, a long, just audacious red wig and a headband. And I'm like, wow, she's just going for it. As I approach and get a little closer, I see a sign pinned on the back of the jumpsuit says, "I lost my fantasy football league." And the guy is skiing all day like that. So then we all have a good laugh, and he's taking a good ribbing.
That's good.
But that one did have a sign, but this guy did not. He couldn't tell anyone.
I don't know. I'm assuming, or I'm hoping, I should say, because
I'm surprised they didn't kick him out.
I've never been in a fantasy football league, so I've not done this, but I have plenty of friends who have, and I've heard plenty of stories about what you have to then go through. And one of the things that people say is, but here's the thing, you can't explain it. You just have to do it. So I'm hoping this guy walks into this restaurant, seats the doll down, and then just orders the meal, eats the whole meal, gets up, pays, and leaves.
Yeah, did he have to order something for her as well, a plate in front of her?
Well, it is a date, Tony. Have you been on a date? Did he have to feed her? You know, maybe the kielbasa.
Well, that mouth is open. The mouth is wide open.
She looks starving. They can't sit very well.
No.
They don't get that sitting position.
If any great loser prizes, if you will, or loser punishments, feel free to hit us on the talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. We know you've got a few out there. I'm looking at a few great ones. Just the straight up the loser tattoo. A tattoo on your body that says "I lost my league," or simply "the loser with the year."
If you lose the league again, do you just get like a 2 behind that?
Or an underline, or they do a little circle around it or something. This could get tough, but there are times in my life when this wouldn't have been a problem. One league loser had to spend 24 hours without leaving a Waffle House. There was a time in my life when I would have been like, sure,
that's okay.
Bring it on.
Settle in.
I'll scatter, smother, and cover myself for 24 hours with a smile on my face.
Here's one. A guy in New York last in his fantasy football league. This was last year. As a punishment, his friends wrapped his Toyota Corolla to make the whole thing pink. And there he is with his phone number and the phrase, "I'm a loser" on the side.
Typical rules, the winner wins a bunch of cash and a trophy, and the loser gets punished. And this year, this was my punishment. I only won 2 games. I didn't really watch any football this year, so that's kind of how it goes. Pretty much botched it as worse as I possibly could.
So how's it been since you got the car back?
It's been horrible. I went to the mall the other day, and when I came back out, my car was surrounded by 20 people. I feel like a little bit that justice has been served for my effort that I put into the league this year. I just wish it was over.
There you go.
Here's a great punishment. Perform stand-up comedy at an open mic.
Oh, my God.
Now, if that's you or me or Tony or Ryder or anybody that talks on a mic, even in it's not the same. Radio's one thing. We're in a room. Our audience isn't right in front of us. But that said, we're comfortable speaking. It would be daunting but doable.
Yeah.
I know people that could not possibly do that.
Right.
I mean, like, they would literally look at you and go, "I'll give you $10,000. Don't make me go to an open mic and try to do comedy."
Oh, my God.
That would be the result for the audience, I'm sure, would be like the worst 4 minutes of their life. But for the person standing there with the mic, absolutely the never the same person coming out of that experience. That's like seriously traumatizing for a lot of folks. Tony, do we have a caller?
Yeah, let's hear from Giorgio from Minneapolis.
Giorgio, good morning.
Yeah.
What do you got, brother?
Wonderful day today. Say you guys are talking about things that losers have to do, and we had a friend that lost a bet, and we made him dress up as a Egyptian pharaoh with all the headdresses and multiple layers of garments that he had to take off when going through airport security.
I didn't know where that one was going.
The flying pharaoh.
King Tut.
Yeah, I mean, it pissed off a lot of people behind him. But,
it did.
It was good for a laugh from the rest of us.
Man, that's Giorgio. That is awesome. I've never thought about putting someone through the TSA line like that. That's great. Thank you.
That's a good one.
Can you imagine
Can you imagine
I'm
being...
glad that I wasn't behind him. I went through first and then watched him struggle as he took off all these layers.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's
and everything.
That is incredible. Brother, thank you for that call. Can you imagine being in line behind that guy and you're thinking, as we almost always are, okay, as long as there's no problem, I should be fine. I might even have time to take a leak. But, you know, you're when I'm in TSA line, I am looking at, it's down to the minute. I'm judging everything and constantly planning for worst case scenario. It would never in a billion years occur to me that I'd be behind somebody who lost a bet with just that meant layers and layers of clothing and jewelry and headdresses.
Nice surprise.
Oh, my God. I mean, you know how when you're waiting, the guy says, okay, go ahead, and you're looking at the 3 lines at TSA, and your first thought is, okay, where are the strollers? Don't want to get behind them. Yeah. Where's the baby bags? You don't want to be behind those people. And then sometimes you're like, yeah, but then that's just a bunch of college kids, and they already look stoned, and they all have backpacks. Don't want to be behind them. You know, you're constantly, your internal algorithm is constantly thinking, the Pharaoh. I mean, my God, I would lose. My head might just fall off my body. Oh, my God, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Absolutely the best. How about this one? Serve 24 hours as a butler for the day for the Fantasy League winner. Assuming that person has a sense of humor, that could get pretty harsh.
Oh, yeah. We'd have put them through hell for sure.
Spend 24 hours in a cage. No idea on what the size of this cage is.
Yeah, wow.
But again, that's just what they just give me a pillow and see you later, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
This is, oh, wow. How about this? So we did, you have to perform stand-up comedy, and an open mic was on the list. Here's another one. Karaoke at a local club, but not just karaoke, 60 minutes of karaoke at a local club. I guess that's over the course of a night. You can't just knock out 12 straight songs.
Right,
but,
you'd be beaten.
But you have to be on stage for an hour over a night. That's pretty great. Right. Yeah, I guess I'm now recognizing, like, oh, yeah, this is why I never played fantasy football in the league. Didn't want to have to deal with one of these.
I think that waffle guy kind of kicked it all off. After that, then it was no holds barred. I don't know that I've come in last in a fantasy football league, but we just had things like you had to pay an extra $100. Like if you came in dead last, then you had to pony up an extra $100 to the winner at the end of the season, which always hurt a little bit. Wasn't something I had to do, but this is pretty good.
These are great. And again, it's definitely keeping me from thinking, I got to get on one of these years. That's not going to happen.
92KQRS.com.
I'm comfortably not numb at all. I'm wide awake, feeling very good, untased. Things could be a lot worse.
I think phased. Is that the word you were looking for? Unfazed?
No, untased.
Oh.
I watched some sports last night. I had some fun with some friends, and at no point in time did anyone tase me. So I feel pretty great.
All right. Tased night.
It's the kind of thing, you see it happen, you're like, oh no, and then what you're really thinking is this is the greatest part of the night. Last night in a Major League Baseball game, a drunk 19-year-old college kid became an American hero. In Cincinnati last night, a kid charges the field wearing a Johnny Bench pullover jersey. Johnny Bench last played in 1809, as far as this kid knows. Approaches the Cleveland Guardians, one of the outfielders. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Just chatting. Literally a drunk fan on the field right before the 9th inning. And then the police charge him. He does a backflip, a standing backflip.
Nice.
And then takes off running. And as he's being chased by one of Cincinnati's finest, I mean, the place must have been going nuts. This is, I never see this sort of thing in person. And then, of course, the officer did what he had to do. In case you're wondering what I'm referencing, as the kid turns and runs from the cop, you see him reaching for his belt. Not going for the gun, but going for the taser. And you know what the kid was thinking when he saw that happen.
Yep.
I didn't do anything. Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me. I didn't do anything. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Owie.
No, he did something. He did a backflip. How can you tase a drunk kid who does a backflip and lands it?
It seems like overkill, but, anytime you can use your taser, I'd be using that sucker every day if I had one. every moment of the day. But
on yourself to get started sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely, right to the sack.
Yeah.
It looks like the cop helps him do the backflip. However, he got an assist there on the backflip.
Well, he's the spotter. You could tell the officer had a kid in gymnastics. He went straight to the spotting
That's exactly
technique.
what I'm seeing. I've helped Sid with several. You just got to stand there and kind of give him that extra little flip,
little boost.
So he helped him so he could chase him down and tase him. That seems like overkill to me, but it makes for a great moment. And
I totally understand that you don't know what anyone's really up to. He should not be in the outfield.
Yes.
He shouldn't be. I totally get that. But once the kid does the backflip and starts running, I agree with you. I'm like, really? You couldn't? You don't think that a few other cops could have gotten involved and just tripped him up a little bit? The full-on tase. And there are still photos of every bit of this. There's backflip photos, but as the tase hits the kid, his face is contorting in pain. And I'm sorry, it's hilarious. It's just one of the funniest things I've seen. He was booked, held overnight in front of a judge. The judge last night says, he looks at him and goes, the judge very casually, a guy named William Mallory, says, everybody thinks you landed that backflip. And the kid goes, I'm pretty sure I did, Your Honor.
Nice.
He's having fun.
I thought Diaz should have come out of the dugout and just beat him to a pulp with a bat. That would have been fun.
Well, you know what? We'd watch that video. I mean, fun or not. Johnny Bench, who, of course, the Cincinnati Reds legend there, the catcher, the legend himself, the kid was wearing a Bench pullover. Johnny Bench tweeted a photo on Johnny Bench's official Twitter account. There's a picture. It's the cop. It's the photo I referenced. As the kid is screaming in pain when the tase hits him, the cop in full pursuit, very focused, and Bench autographed the tweet. Great catch, Cincinnati's finest, Johnny Bench. I mean, seriously, you're getting an autographed tweet of you tasing a fan from an icon. That's a good day for any officer, no matter how you slice it or dice it.
Yeah, I guess, even if it's Johnny Bench.
No matter how you phase it or tase it, I guess is the new expression we should go with. That's good stuff. I've been at games. We've all been places, and you're thinking, I'd like to run out there. I'd like to be on the field. Maybe I'll do this. I mean, Tony, you have a history of taking your clothes off before doing things like this.
I've been very tempted many times going to games to do something like this.
Now, when you see something like this, does this make you think you missed out? Does it make you think maybe there's one last run in the tank?
Yeah, maybe thinks there's a creative pathway to find a way to make it happen.
I love it.
What's the anti-tasing gear you can wear? Something protective.
I think what the cops are wearing, you got to wear one of those flak jackets or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Surplus store.
Because this one was the one with the wires and the little prongs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They stick into you, so, maybe some Kevlar.
Or maybe you know what? Let's get you a full cop uniform.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get a fake mustache.
Fake mustache. Cop at the ballpark, cop at Target Field, and then it turns into the stripper cop, then it turns into the streaking cop, and then you're tased, but we all have a great story. I love this plan. Thank you for that.
Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me.
Oh, take your tasing like a man.
No kidding.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
If you, like Tony Lee, woke up just hung over as hell today.
Don't you judge me.
No judgment, Tony. No judgment at all. I'm amazed you made it in.
I think he's still drunk. Yeah, clearly.
I could have been sheriff at one point. You don't know me.
Smacked me on the ass this morning.
The Foster Brooks of the KQ Morning Show.
Saltines for the house.
Saltines?
What's
wrong with that?
Nothing.
By the way,
now he's getting angry.
You know what? The greatest really drunk line of all time is, "What's wrong with that?" That's because we've all said things like, "What's the big deal? What's wrong with that?"
What did I say? Something? Oh, okay.
It's not hurting anybody. It's a free country.
Now you're going to get mad. Okay. I'm just saying have fun. Just can't have fun anymore.
I love it.
No.
Avoiding hangovers is a worthy pursuit. Let's not kid ourselves, and a far more important pursuit with every passing year for all of us. A few things that I'm reading. You know, there's cures, there's fix-its, there's all sorts of things. Some of which there's old wives' tales, and then there's some things that actually apparently are true.
Yeah, okay.
Hair of the dog.
Boom. Brian Zepp's cure.
That's it. Have another drink when you wake up. It does seem to make you feel a little better. But, Brian, here's the rub. Only for a little while.
Well, no, you just got to keep it going.
Oh, you just just get back on the horse.
Then you ease out of it. Okay, so I woke up with a hangover after the pub crawl. It was about 10:30 p.m. That night because I went home and ordered a Bonnie's cheeseburger pizza. Highly recommend it. Pounded about half of that. Fell asleep in bed with my clothes on. Woke up at 10:30 p.m. and my head was hurting. And, I cracked a beer.
Did the job?
Did the job. Got right back into a nice little buzz. But you're right. It does... I mean, I'm not going to sit around and suffer on a Sunday morning. I'm going to have a little something to drink.
I have hair of the dog for me only a couple times, but it's not to get up and start drinking again. It's wake up really hungover and not feeling good, and have another one just so I can fall back asleep.
Yeah,
that's the only time I've ever
to get to the headache. But every once in a while, you kind of get back into the groove. You're like, now I'm feeling kind of, you know what? Hey, you guys want to come pick me up? I'm going golfing or whatever. You know, maybe you're just going out, for a Sunday fun day or whatever. But yeah, hair of the dog. It does come with it. It's not a cure. You're just avoiding it. You're sidestepping the hangover.
Sports drinks. Scientists do say they don't completely understand what causes hangover, but they do know that dehydration is a big part of it.
Yeah.
And they're saying if not just water, work in a Gatorade as you're going about your night drinking. Just try to stay hydrated throughout the process.
During the night? Okay.
Yeah,
as you're still drinking. Yeah. But then obviously in the morning, Gatorade. I've had many of the, I need a gallon of Gatorade right now when I wake up situations. Yeah. And I'll go for that.
I, for a long time, when I was out hitting it pretty hard, would stop at some point in the night and say, hey, just a glass of water, please, and then just chug that bad boy.
Yeah, that does help.
2 or 3 nights out of it. But the biggest thing for me was getting rid of the pop. Getting the pop out of the drinks a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Get that pop out of there. I'll take ice. I'll take it neat, whatever. Let's just drink it.
Yeah.
And I'll need the better stuff now, too. So it gets a little spendier. But that pop, I think I was convinced that sugary stuff was what gave me such horrendous hangovers.
I'll go with that. All right. I'm just gonna say, yeah, Dr. Zepp, you're onto something there. My wife will tell you, make no mistake about it, a quarter pounder with cheese and French fries is the best thing for a hangover.
Yeah.
As many people do. A lot of people swear by the greasy breakfast. Science says no. We have no reason. We can't prove it's helpful. They suggest actually things that are easier to digest, like toast or cereal. The calories get into your system faster. There's an author who wrote a book called The Doctor's Hangover Book, and he says there's no specific food that actually can cure, but a lot of people have good results with honey. Honey for a hangover. The worst hangover of my life, oddly enough, happened when I was 22 years old, very young. But I will never forget this, and it was the first time and last time I ever drank Jägermeister. And I drank so much of it because I can't believe how good this is. There was a case of Beck's beer, and there was a bottle of Jägermeister, and maybe even more. And by the end of it, it was so weird. I had a delayed reaction hangover. Like I woke up the next morning early and felt okay, not great.
Still a little drunk, maybe.
Probably. Got back to sleep, and when I woke up for the second time, I then had no exaggeration, 2 full day hangover. 2 full days. All I was eating was saltine crackers.
Funny.
I just had saltine after saltine after saltine.
Every time I've had Jägermeister has been the last time I will ever drink Jäger. Yeah, one of my buddies, Good Time Johnny over there in St. Paul, got a Jäg machine bought it at a rummage sale or a bar's rummage sale, one of the Jäg machines.
Oh my God.
It was a bad thing. It's what I imagine that, the bar rag, if you just wringed it into a glass, that's what I imagine it would. It's wow. And Fireball. Everybody's all excited about Fireball. That just gives me a hangover thinking about it.
You know, I've stuck to that. I've never had Jägermeister since. I've had Jägermeister on one occasion in my entire life.
That was it.
If I smell it, it's just like, nah. It doesn't make me sick, but it certainly still triggers the memory. I could never possibly forget that.
Yeah, I can't.
Have you ever gotten up and felt really hungover and just said, screw it, and you just jump out and go for a run or get on the bike, go for a hardcore workout?
All right. Yeah. I love, actually, you know what, skiing. Everybody knows I like to ski a lot, and I go on the ski trips with the buddies, and we party hardy, and I get up in the morning, and then no one wants to go skiing except me, man. You get me out in that cold air and then work in the lungs and get the heart beating. That works. I wish I could still do that, but I don't get, quite as hung as I used to.
I can see it. That kind of checks out to me. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talk and text line. We have a caller, Tony?
Our buddy David from Rosemont claims to have the best hangover cure.
Ooh.
David from Rosemont, help us all. What do you got?
All right. So when you're down and drinking and you are just hammered off your tuchus, in the morning you got to get up to use the bathroom anyway, so you take 4 Excedrin and drink yourself a bottle of water and go back to bed. Hangover gone.
All right.
4 Excedrin, bottle of water. That's pretty simple.
It's got to be Excedrin. Hangover in my life.
All right.
I thought you were going to say something like hang your head over the side of the bed, swallow the pills, and drink the water with your head upside down.
I got a question for Zepp.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
Dave, what's up?
Have you tried?
No, I will not make out with you. What? I'm sorry.
Have you tried the pizza on the grill yet?
Oh, no, Dave. I have not tried the dang pizza on the grill yet. In fact, I did kind of space it, but guess what? I'm going to the pizza on the grill. So you had called in with that, right? And it's just take the frozen pizza, don't thaw it or do thaw it.
Do not thaw it. You don't need to thaw it. Just put it on there, close the grill at about 350. You want to put a little bit more cheese on it. We actually cooked mozzarella sticks on there, too.
All right, I'm doing that today. I'm actually going to do that today. So any old frozen pizza gets the job done?
Any pizza you want to put on there.
And just add a little extra matzah and maybe whatever else I want on there. Okay, Dave, thanks. That's my Tuesday plan.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you, brother.
They said we did something a couple of years ago that if you drank pear juice. Now, this was a PhD.
Pear juice?
That if you drank pear juice before you went out drinking.
Okay.
A full glass, I forget how many ounces, let's say 8 ounces of pear juice.
Only cost $71.
Probably. I don't even know. I was like, I remember at the time thinking, where the hell do you get pear juice? Do they sell that? Well, they do, I guess. If you drink pear juice before you go out for the night drinking, you will not be hungover. But I never got around to, much like Dave's grilling the pizza idea, which I am going to get to. I never got to the pear juice. I wonder if anyone knows of the pear juice thing before you go drinking, prevents hangovers. 651-989-ROCK. We'd love to hear from you.
Fair enough. We are hearing from someone else. Who we got, Tony?
Here's Boris's cure.
Boris, what do you got for us, brother?
Hey, man. Good morning, guys. Kind of keep it down here. I'm a little hungover. No, just kidding. Hey, I've always thought that if you have some really good watermelon or some really good juicy fruit, like sweet, it's got to be good, though. It can't be that chewy stuff. It's got to be nice and in season. And but some of the girls I've known that wake up hungover, I mean, they're the worst anyway, but popsicles always seem to help them.
Popsicles?
Anyway, I'll hang up that guy 6.
Yeah, you got it, Boris.
Yeah. A popsicle or a really good juicy fruit in season. Or not nothing chewy. None of the, what's a chewy fruit?
I don't know.
But I get what he's saying. Watermelon, it's high in water content, so you're getting the water back into your system. That's why that works. And you can consume a lot of it. That's not bad. I might keep some watermelon in the fridge for the next hangover. One
of the things they suggest not drinking is coffee because caffeine restricts your blood vessels, ups your blood pressure, and that can make you feel worse. However, if you are already a regular coffee drinker, well, then you have to drink it because caffeine withdrawal just makes everything worse. Caffeine withdrawal is a very real thing. Do you enough of a coffee drinker where if you don't have it one day, you get that headache?
Oh yeah,
that
caffeine headache. Yep.
That caffeine headache
Piercing.
is worse than any hangover headache I've ever had.
Piercing.
Man.
And then I can't drink caffeine and get rid of it.
No.
Yeah,
Once it starts, it doesn't work at all. There's no getting rid of it. It's just an absolute. It's a screaming advertisement that says "Stop drinking coffee," is what it is. Tony, who else we got on the phone?
Andy has another take.
Andy, good morning. Andy.
Hey.
What's up, brother? What do you got for us?
Well, listen, man, I
go to Canada every year, and one year my nutritionist sister-in-law sent up activated charcoal tablets with us, and we drank every night, partied hard, and didn't wake up with one hangover.
Really? I mean, do you still do that? I mean, is that a real thing?
Oh yeah. Or
do you have to be in Canada?
Or any sort of natural grocery store has activated charcoal tablets or capsules.
Okay.
They're amazing.
All right. Okay.
Take 2 before you go to bed.
Okay. Activated charcoal tablets.
Man, first I've ever heard of it. That's pretty good. I know that when Chauncey Gorman overdosed on his sister dog Zelda's pain pills, true story, he tried to off himself by wolfing down 60 pills. Giving us all a heart attack. They fed him charcoal, like to flush the system. I was like, they were just shoving it down his throat like there was no tomorrow.
I didn't know there was a charcoal pill, but I'm putting it on my shopping list.
Hey, if it was good enough for Chauncey and his kidneys, it's probably good enough for you and your Coors Light headache. On the KQ Talking text line 651-989-ROCK, a lot of suggestions. Pedialyte is one. That's a
no. Okay, that makes me angry. Pedialyte makes me angry. Sorry, have you guys tried Pedialyte?
No, I've never tried
It's the worst. Try it today.
Is it like the sugar-free vitamin water?
God.
Just makes you want to throw up as soon as you taste it?
It is. It tastes like it's already been drank once.
Well, it's for kids.
Exactly. Why would you do that to your kid? But whatever, because I guess they can't protest because they're too young. And my mom gave me some nasty-ass cough syrup or something, I remember.
It must have some validity to it. We're like on campus. So if you go to any convenience store on campus Monday morning, the Pedialyte shelves are cleared. There's just a big empty spot where the Pedialyte is supposed to go.
Now I wonder if I'm thinking of the right stuff. I remember, I had something, what it was. I don't know if you have to get... What it was, I had to go in for something medical, and they're like, flush your light, drink this stuff. I think it was Pedialyte, and it was just the nastiest stuff.
I've never sipped it. I've seen that, but that's funny that the shelves are clear every Monday on campus. That's pretty fantastic.
Well,
I'm looking up activated charcoal right here. Yeah. A fine odorless black powder often used in emergency rooms to treat overdoses.
Oh.
Wow! But you can get
over the counter.
Yeah, you can get it over the counter in tablet form. So here's what it says. It does. It reduces absorption of substances in the stomach and intestines. So, that makes sense.
All right.
All right, fair enough. Tony, who else we got on the horn?
A couple good routes to take. First, Fred from South Dakota, and then Cassandra from Chanhassen.
Fred, lay it on us, brother.
Yeah, real quick. It's a V8, a shot of vodka, and the coldest 6-ounce beer you could find with ELO and a little toke. You'll be fine.
South Dakota showed up this morning. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, man?
I'm originally from Brooklyn, but I'm hanging out in South Dakota listening to you guys. You guys crack me up. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We were talking about how to cure a hangover, and I think you just told us how to get one.
Right. No, it's, brother, preach it from the mountaintops, and I can only assume that your car broke down in South Dakota, and you're trying to work your way out of there, but good for you, my man. That's where I'm from.
Just having a ball. It's nice out here. Just drinking and having a ball.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Right on.
A little ELO, don't
have
forget
a beautiful day, cats.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
He does not sound like he's from South Dakota.
A lot of texts saying activated charcoal is the way to go. Wally wrote, activated charcoal is a miracle. They work awesome for an upset stomach, but this is an item where you get what you pay for. Spend a little more. Don't buy the cheap stuff. And then it says, don't take it within an hour of taking other meds because it legitimately will flush everything out.
Weird.
So if you're taking other medicine, it'll deactivate. It'll flush it out before you have a chance
time to flush everything out.
All right,
Okay,
Dr. Wally has weighed in. Who else did you say is on the horn?
Cassandra.
Cassandra, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're great. What do you got for us?
Well, to cure a hangover, you got to have a hot bowl of Mexican soup, menudo. It's made with beef tripe, hominy. You do it with corn tortillas, onion, cilantro. It's got an authentic chili powder in it, and then a shot of tequila, and you're ready to go.
Muy bien.
Cassandra, I'll just give you a blank check if you bring some over right now. That sounded amazing.
Yeah.
It is awesome. Oh my gosh, I grew up on it. I guess a lot of Hispanic people have grown up on it. Some people don't find it the best, but we absolutely love it. And for a hangover, that's the best cure.
Wow, fair enough, Cassandra. Thank you for that. Now I'm hungrier than I already was. That sounds great.
If I wasn't in Minnesota, I definitely would bring you some.
All right. Fair enough. This text just in, Pedialyte is good, but breast milk is better. Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Good to know.
If I just had someone on the hook with a boob full,
a question for you.
Boob full.
A question for you, Zepp, on the text line. Zepp, how many times have you or your Army buddy shown up hungover for PT formation and had a medic give you an IV?
No, I did not. But I did do the IV treatment one time. We were in Vegas, and there was a place down in the hotel lobby where we were staying. I forget which hotel we were at that year, but they had the hangover cure thing downstairs. You'd go down and you'd get hooked up. I don't know if it helped or not because I actually started drinking again while the needle was in my arm. And I'm pretty sure I was drunk when I went down to do this with Terry Tran. But anyway, I had never had a medic that was that kind to me. I did wake up in formation one day in my cot. They carried it outside and I woke up out there, and that was embarrassing. And but no, that's a good one. Yeah, no, I didn't have the hookup back then. That's a good one. I like it.
This in on the text line. Stick your head under the faucet and drink until you can't swallow anymore.
What
Go
the
to bed.
hell? That's called waterboarding.
Get up to pee and then repeat drinking water until you can't swallow. You will not have a hangover in the morning because you'll be dead.
Yes.
So you have to get up to pee.
You drowned yourself in the sink.
Ooh, man. I have a friend who would open a can of peas and drink the juice. Worked every time for her.
Pea juice.
Pea juice.
What? Man,
worth a try, I guess.
Let's see. What do we got? Hangover cure. Hangover cure. Just got back from Las Vegas. Denny's on Fremont Street. 2 Bloody Marys with your breakfast. You're good to go. Then start over again. Yeah, everyone.
Done.
There's a whole lot of how do we get back on the horse into a lot of these.
No, Fred got it. Was that Fred in South Dakota from by way of Brooklyn? Was that his name? I forget. Yeah, I like that. A toke, shot, and some ELO, and you're on your way.
Yeah.
Someone said, wrong, guys. I got a Pedialyte at Target last night. Blue raspberry. Tell Zepp it's good. Does the trick. There was a full supply at Target last night.
Okay. All right.
Someone said...
I'm going with the charcoal tabs.
Someone said, Zepp, you're talking about Go Lightly, not Pedialyte.
Oh,
Go Lightly is what you have before a colonoscopy.
Yeah, that was it. That was the medical procedure.
Yeah, that's foul tasting.
Yeah, that's nasty. All right, well, Go Light, Pedialyte.
But the good thing about the Go Light is they only ask you to drink a gallon.
Yeah, right. God. That's right. That's what it was. Thanks for the heads up. All right. I went hard on Pedialyte. Sorry about that, Pedialyte.
Yeah, I was surprised. Not that I had not that I'm connected to Pedialyte in any way, but I just thought I would have heard that it's awful before.
And
it's kind of like Gatorade for kids.
But I did say I mentioned this vitamin water. Remember when that hit the scene the first time? There was there's the dragon berry or dragon fruit and different flavors, and it was so good. And one day someone handed me one, and it said sugar free. And if you ever want to know how much sugar is in vitamin water, drink the sugar-free.
Yeah,
because I almost threw up. One sip, I was like, what is this? I mean, I looked at the vitamin water. I was like, 9,000 calories. Okay, good. So this really isn't good for me.
Yeah, that's 35 grams of sugar. It's huge.
It was crazy amounts of sugar. I was like, well, that explains why I love this so much.
Right. I recently got my favorite chips, my favorite kettle-cooked chips, salt-free. I'm like, all right, we're going to watch the sodium, I'm told. I read that somewhere. Heard that on the KQ Morning Show. I've got to watch my sodium intake. And I ate about 3 chips and went, the salt. Yeah. That's why I eat them.
I for the first time ever, my yearly checkup this year, the guy said, what's your sodium levels? Just like, what happened? Like, it's never been high. And all of a sudden it was really high. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just... because I'm not eating any more. So I don't have a sweet tooth. I have a salt tooth.
Yeah.
You know, like when I finish a big meal, I'm like, you know what would top this off perfectly? Just some potato chips. maybe a couple of Fritos. It's like I'm just always looking for salt. It's ridiculous. Yeah, like I used to say, dessert for me was always just more of the main.
Yeah, right. Just about thirds.
Who's ready for pie? I'd actually just have more chili. That was always me. And at some point, man, it's just too much salt. Apparently, here's a hangover cure on the text line: can of Coca-Cola and saltine crackers. Been there, done that, and saltines are an absolute staple of my hangover cure. I just always, that's what I imagine them doing that. I pretend they are. I think I convince myself it is working. This is helping because
I'll
do a whole sleeve of saltines.
Nabisco's sponge.
I'll just sit there. I'll sit there and I'll watch. I'll put on like some, Suits. Just one of those dumb shows where you're like, I don't care what happens, but I'll just watch people talk about anything, but they're doing something and they seem to think it matters, and I'm not going to remember, but I'm just going to slowly and I eat saltines like I've just nibbled, so it's just constant source, just not big bites, just little pieces, and it just goes, just one after the other.
You're so noisy. I don't know. Yeah, I think that would bother me watching you do that.
It would bother me having you watch me do that. This is called me time.
Okay.
This is the KQ Morning Show. Keep listening all day. Tell your smart speaker to play 92 KQRS.
The longest I ever spent in that situation, not with like diarrhea or food poisoning, but I once also had to take care of business, and it took the better part of an hour. And during that time, I really was, I felt oddly in touch with my digestive system. I was aware of all the bodily functions, and it took, as I said, I was like, man, I think I've been in here an hour, and it was a really bizarre and very involved bowel movement.
It was a sad
I was high as a kite on LSD, and when I finished, I walked out, and it had been like 90 seconds.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
True story. I was literally in there, like I could feel every cell of I knew how my digestion worked. I felt all my organs doing their part. I was in touch with my own system in a way I'd never experienced, and it was like a really life-affirming moment. And then when I finally came out of there, I was like, oh, it's not even been 2 minutes. Oh, okay.
I want to do it again. I'm getting some tacos.
Right. I don't think I've ever taken a dump on
I did
acid.
it once. Wouldn't do it again. Trust me.
No?
It was way too... I was like, no, this can't be happening. It is happening. Oh, no. And then, it's a weird one.
Did you apologize to everyone for bogarting the bathroom?
No, I had gone into... It was in a hotel. At least I was in France. I had that going for me. I was in Paris.
Did you visualize the process?
They had a bidet?
No bidet. Well, I didn't use it if they did.
That would have been really freaky.
By the time I allowed myself to leave, I was in a rush. I was like, I got to get out of here. And that carried over to the next day. So, the next day was the only time I ever played a gig. I was in the acid hangover period where I was like still kind of tripping just a little, and then the first song of the night, I was like, God, this song is so long, and I'm playing it, and it was just completely 3.5 minutes. But like somewhere during the second verse, I was like, are we still playing this song? And I'm like, everyone's gonna know I don't know what's happening. But the first song it like wore off. All of a sudden I was back, and I was like, "Whoo, Lord!" And I was like, "No one's looking at me funny." Right. I really thought it was a song called "One Mirror Too Many," and I remember thinking, "This is taking so long."
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know we ever extended this one like this. It was just straight up.
Time slows down for you on acid.
Real slow, slow. Wouldn't recommend it for a gig anyway.
No.
Or a dump.
Maybe maybe binge watching a series or something like that. I was going to say, safely on the couch.
Got a rope hammock and a case of beer? Give me some acid. Right. Otherwise, no.
What if you morphed the two experiences while you were playing drums? You slowly pulled your pants down and started the process.
I'm like, you know what? Honestly, that's like a 20, almost a 30-year retroactive anxiety attack you're giving me. Wow, that's from the spring of what year was that? 97.
Now, you talked about some bad mayo and having a tough show after some bad mayonnaise.
That was a whole different story. I'll take the acid any day over bad mayo.
At least I don't know, would it be worse to be sitting down because then your body's like, oh, okay, we got some business to do here, so it would be a constant clench for the whole show, or up moving around, out in front of the stage. Hard. We can only hypothesize.
Well, I can tell you this. When I got food poisoning in Argentina, I had to get on stage, and that was not one but 2 Imodium was required. And that was actually more painful, but less less nasty because I was able to dam that river, but boy, I paid a price with cramps on that one.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.